Hello, my friends. Have you ever received a letter in the mail or an email that when you read it, even on the outside before you open it, maybe the subject line or who it's from, you just know inside that, oh, no, that doesn't apply to me. It's like there's no arguing with it or second guessing. You just know, oh no, that doesn't apply to me. For instance, if you're in your 20s and you get something about your senior years, let's say, to make it really like obvious, it's like, oh no, that doesn't apply to me. I'm not a senior. I'm not even close. So you just throw it out, put it in the trash can. And if somebody told you something where they think that you are somebody that would enjoy something they do and they want to invite you along, you go like, no, that's not me. That's not my thing. That's how I often say it's like, no, that's not my thing. I just don't do that. It doesn't fit into my life or that doesn't fit into my identity. So I just let it go. There's no big hoo-ha around it, hoo-ha around it. It's just inside, like, no, that doesn't relate to me. So that's what I want to address a little more today. I did talk a little bit about it in yesterday's video here. You can click on that link. The phrase, oh no, that doesn't apply to me, or no, I'm not interested, or no, it's not my thing. You just say it and you move on. You don't keep thinking about it like, is it my thing or does it apply to me? You just know. I know. It's a feeling. It's a strong knowing, felt sense in your body that does not need arguing or convincing. It's just how it is. And who we have been identifying with for maybe many lifetimes, we don't question that either. They're like, no, this is just who I am. This is what relates to me. And we don't question it. We just say, okay, yes. And we go along with it because our identity is still fully identified with this suggestion that has been coming to us for so, so long. And after a while, you don't question it. That's also what is happening just outside of us, how the world is functioning. We just say, well, that's just how it is. We don't question it. We just go along. So most of us are just going along with outer suggestions, outer expectations. Everybody else is doing it. It's always been this way. So I will just say yes. And what's missing here is that we don't pause and just check inside. Is this really true for me? Or now we can start saying, does this still relate to me now as you're beginning to make that transition into a new identity free from the past? And that is what we are beginning to really get more and more in touch with. And like I've shared, it feels incredible to really start identifying with our true identity, with our true I am presence without this. So we're not becoming somebody else. We're finally becoming who we are without this. And I want to keep saying that it's without this. I have always been, I am. That's when I check in with myself. I'm like, oh yeah, I am. Yeah. You can feel some kind of a solidness. It's like, yeah, I know who I am. I am, but not the layers on top coming from the past. We need to get to this place where we can actually feel I am. And I want to invite you again to check out the video meditation I have offered a while ago. You can find the link here. And that helps you to get back into the felt sense of I am. So when we know or are getting to know this felt sense of I am, you betcha that this does not relate to you anymore. It's just so obvious. It's like, what? That's not me. I am. This is the felt sense, the knowing, the feeling, the sensation of I am. Totally pure without anything right behind it, without your name, your gender, your age, your job, your whatever. That does not even, that's not who we are, but that is who we have identified with. So that's why moving from the old past identity into the present moment, and from there we can start oozing that out. And it kind of goes, I'm going to say it goes in front of us and it manifests from inside the purity, the fulfillment, the love, the peace of who we always have been. And now we can finally experience it without that identity. So as we drop into this identity more and more, this makes no sense after a while. But remember, every cell, every nerve, every part of our body is still fully wrapped inside of this. So it's not just making that quick leap, like, boop, I'm here. That happened for me many, many years ago, but it didn't last. It lasted a couple of months. It was amazing, but it didn't last because I received that, let's say, that light, that energy, that higher frequency, where it was just clear that I am love. And I walked around as love, not questioning it. But then after a while, things happened and I was pulled right back in because I didn't have enough of my energy grounded in the knowing of who I truly am. And that's why it was easy to fall back into these old identities and these patterns and these beliefs and these feelings and sensations and memories and all that stuff. I was back and it was, to be honest with you, it was awful. It was probably, I would call it a god awful experience. But, I didn't get I got an experience of grace, but I didn't get a free ride all the way home. And so I could stay there. And that's why the inner work we do is to unhook from this. So, as I've started to say today, to say something like, oh, no, I'm not interested anymore, not fighting it. And there is a video on that too about just like, nah, not interested. Nah, it's not my thing. Nah, that doesn't apply to me, right? Like a letter you got, like, that doesn't apply to me. That is one of the exits, we can say, when this comes in and once you pull you back in there, you are beginning to stand more strong and solid as who you are without this. This is not you, this is not me. But because we've been feeding it for so long, we would just say, oh, yeah, it's true. I'm worthless. I'm unlovable. I'm something wrong with me. I'm not good enough. And I can't do that. It's like this ball of yucky, sticky yarn, that just pulls us in. So, but now we have something that is stronger than that because we have a taste, a felt sense of who we are becoming. And that is a very powerful energy. That's our sovereignty. And our sovereignty will always trump anything from our past. Our sense of sovereignty, of our I am presence, is a gazillion times stronger than this. So now we're going to start using it, right? You're beginning to really live as I am. You're using some of my suggestions if it resonates, where I say, I am somebody who is not my past anymore. I am somebody who is beginning to leave my past behind. Those are very important first steps because it doesn't offend your own intellect. It's like, oh, yeah, I'm actually doing this work. Yeah, I am beginning to leave. I'm somebody who is beginning to leave my past behind. So I would keep it really simple in the beginning and not just jump to somebody who is a millionaire if that's what your goal is. So just using these steps. And then when this comes in, and it will over and over and over and over and over again for a while. I've been doing this work for a very long time. This is not giving up. What's different is I don't give up here. I used to for years and years and years. I would have these insights and like pulled right back in because it's so familiar. It's so overwhelming in a way. It's like this intrusive energy that will not let be. It's really intrusive. It comes in and we have to be here to say, this does not apply to me. And then you just close the door. Might come back in the back door. You say, no, this does not apply to me. I cannot relate to that. Go. Be gone. You can be strong in it, but do not start fighting with it. Realize that it is past hypnotic suggestions that are doing everything they can to get a feed out of you. And every time we feed it, we carry it with us into the next moment, the next, and the next, and the next. So that's why our past never lands in the present moment. It becomes our next future experience only because we carry it with us by engaging in it. And this is very important work for all of us, and not just do it once. It has to become a new way of being because we are new. We have stepped into the new, into the now. And if we don't stay here consciously, because we're still wobbly, it can pull us right back to the point where you don't even remember who you are. So I'm not saying this to discourage you. I'm saying it because we need to do that work in order to come fully into our sovereignty so we can stay here. And then as all these things, come banging on your door and trying to get down the chimney and the back door and opening the windows, wanting in to pull me out, to pull you out. You don't touch it. You don't engage with it. You can say, not interested. You can say, be gone. You can say, get behind me. You know who. You can say, this does not apply to me. I'm not interested anymore. And when you say it from your I am presence, from that feeling, that felt sense, this is so everything, then you have the power to stay here. If you're saying it from up here, because there's memories of, maybe your parents were doing these horrible things and you had to always fight them, then you will just stay in the fighting mode. So it is so important to come down and feel your I am presence, the purity of it without any gunk on it. And then you can start like, oh, so peaceful. Oh, I want to now be a beacon of this peace. But I have to be in and as the beacon so it can shine forth and show me all the other amazing possibilities, the infinite creations that are possible that I want to connect to now. Before I couldn't because I was lost in my past. So coming back here and get that feeling, the felt sense of who I am, and the more you practice it, it becomes your natural place of resting, where this has been your natural place of resting. You don't want to feed that anymore. Please do anything you can or need to unhook from this, to be so strong in yourself where you can say no without fighting, without resisting, but just like, oh no, that's not for me. Doesn't apply to me. It's not for me. I'm not interested. Be gone. Close the door. Go back right away and focus on I am, on what you do want. This is the door we need to go through over and over and over because we get pulled out of it over and over and over. So we need to do whatever we need to do to come back here. Sometimes it feels impossible. That's okay. I have that experience myself. In the mornings when I wake up, it's right in my face every morning for a long, long time. And it would pull me out and I would think about what is it? And now I'm like, no. And then I know what I want, and then I just stay focused on that. I beam my light on I am and what my heart wants. And the more I do that, this dust starts retreating. So it's not trying to get in all the time, but there are times where I'm not fully conscious, such as in the morning waking up. For other people, it may be the most blissful thing. It hasn't been for me, but it's been an amazing practice to really stay here no matter what, even if I'm not fully awake and you're in this kind of weird energy that some of you may relate to. It's getting easier and easier to not go there, even though I don't have anything else at times. I just absolutely do my best. And then eventually it's not there. And then I can really get in here, feel I am, and then feel what it's like. I am somebody who gets out of bed in the morning feeling grateful for I'm having a peaceful day. I am feeding an energy, becoming, feeling an energy of peace. I am walking around as peace. I am somebody who receives without effort. You see, then we can actually speak and send out what is true. So, my friends, check out one of these statements like, oh no, this doesn't apply to me. And try and say it. You can say it right now. Let's say it together and say it in a, nonchalant way. It's like, oh, no, that doesn't apply to me. And try and say, oh, no, I'm not interested. I have other plans. Don't make a big deal out of it. Like, oh, no, that's not for me. Because you know inside, no, it doesn't resonate with me. When I'm here in my I am presence, then I can feel that when this bombardment comes in, this intrusion, like, no, that's actually not me. I'm not interested. So it becomes very simple and clear. There's a sense of conviction. Like, oh no, that's not for me. You don't even have to make a big deal out of it. It's like, oh, you recognize it right away. And you just say, no, I'm much more interested in this. The more you do that, the more it becomes your natural expression and experience more and more all day long. But like with anything, we have to practice it to strengthen our sovereignty muscle, our I am presence experience. Please share with me if you are giving it a go and how it's working or not working. Do you need support in this? Please reach out, share with your friends, get some friends together, maybe listen to one of my videos about this and start practicing it together so you're not alone. That is always very helpful too, I think. And so I think I'm going to leave it here with you guys today. And I hope you will like this video and maybe subscribe if you haven't. And then drop me a comment. I always answer. I always comment on the comments. All right, my friends. Be well.